And you now, this year, 2024 that just ended, did you take a break and come back here?
So this year is the first year in the last 12 years that I haven't done Blue Note with him. Normally, I would have to be there now.
Blue Note in New York.
In New York, we do it every year. He's been doing it for 20 years already.
And the Blue Note is a small venue, right?
1 month.
Wow. He does a whole month straight.
2 shows a day, no break, no days off. I did that for the last 14 years, 12 years.
Wow, so you can't stand looking at the Blue Note anymore.
I walk in there, and I'm already at home, right? It's really cool, but this year he decided to do it without the guitar. Then he talked to me, and I said, great. I'll go to Rio. Everything's fine. We get along really well, right? And he wanted to do a more jazz-oriented project. Not that jazz doesn't need a guitar, but it's not something essential, let's say.
It's not the traditional jazz instrument?
Especially because my work there with him is more... I don't even play in the jazz songs, actually, almost. It's more acoustic guitar and electric guitar, too. But the other part of the show, right? Usually, the jazz songs he does with a trio, piano, bass, and drums, right? Which is the more classic format, so to speak, right? Yes. So I came here, and I will resume with him in February.
Okay. What have you, man, been studying lately in recent years? What has changed in your study? Do you study on demand? How is it for you? Your study, picking up the instrument?
Man, I pick up the instrument first thing in the morning, every day. It's an addiction. I'm addicted to playing. Danilo can vouch for that, right? Because he stays with me there in Los Angeles, and I drive him crazy, right? But I play unplugged, right? Most of the time, I don't even plug in the guitar. But like my routine is I wake up, make coffee, and already pick up the instrument. But what do you do with the instrument? Yeah. What do you play? What do you practice? I play, man. I play. I don't know what I play. I play something. Or I put on a record and play along with the record. Sometimes I'm in a different key from the record because the guitar is unplugged, right? I'm listening and playing anything. And sometimes not. Sometimes I stop and play something that I...
But wait, this thing is interesting. The key is playing there. Are you more interested in the mechanical part?
Mechanical. I like that part, too, of course. I like everything, but I miss... It's like therapy for me to stay there playing, feeling the instrument. And it's also kind of a habit of mine to always try to never feel that. If I stop playing for a day, I'll feel it the next day. And that terrifies me, you know?
But what if you have to travel one day?
I play.
But 24 hours travel?
Play.
No way.
I swear to you. If there's space, I play on the plane.
Really, man? I met the guy here, and I do too, because I play every day as well.
I play at the airport. Because I travel with the guitar, right? With me. Yes. I check the guitar.
But you never take a break from the guitar?
Never. I never have. I was hospitalized, but it was a problem I had. At the time, I was still tired, right? I told Katya, she asked, what clothes should I bring? I said, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Bring the guitar, for God's sake. Man, I can't go without playing. I played in the hospital. I remember I went to France, that was it. It's been a long time. I remember the nurse was going to put the IV here. I said, no. Can you put it in the other hand? She asked why. I said, because I put it, it's practiced. Here, you understand? It's something I can't explain.
It's a habit.
Yes. Besides, I need to study, right?
So that's the thing. Let's go. Organize this here.
It's not just a pleasure. It's a mix of pleasure with also the awareness that I need to stay on top of the instrument, right?
I've asked you this once, that you play with a lot of lightness.
Yes.
A lot of lightness like that, right? You notice that too, right? Yes, I've been told that. Was that never intentional for you?
Never. I think I've always tried.
It's not like George Benson playing, for example.
No, that's true. I don't know. I think it has to do with my personal self as well. It is, I always try in all things in my life to get the most out of it with the least effort.
Nice.
It's something about me. I've been like this since I was a child. Not that I get the most out of everything, but I never really believed in very hard work and getting a result like that. I always tried to find a shortcut. So, for example, with instruments, I always used very low strings because when I started playing guitar, I remember thinking, wow, this is impossible to play with this. It hurt my fingers too much. It was torture. So I don't know how, when I was a kid, I played like that, right? But when I started to discover that I could lower the strings, the first thing I did was go to a guy and say, please lower them for God's sake. Then, so that's already a detail, right?
Okay. So you use low action and your frets. Do you also prefer lower frets?
No, normal frets, those jumbo ones. Yeah.
I see.
But actually fewer frets. Although there's the jumbo, right, which is that high fret, right? What's it called? Distant. That's it. I've played a few times on guitars like that.
Did anything bother you?
No, but you feel the fret more, right?
You feel the fret more.
It's normal, but if the action is low, yeah.
It has very low tension, as low as possible.
Yeah, very low.
Okay.
Like 1 millimeter.
Because it's funny, because your way of playing, which is much more common within the Roxy Red segment, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That people like super low tension.
And thin strings, right? I use heavier strings. Already the 6, 09, already the 6, 10. So you use 9. I use 11.
You use 11.
For a long time now. I saw that you mentioned in the episode that you switched to 9, didn't you? 8. Wow.
I'm at 8.
Oh, no.
I'm facing a problem with this finger of mine because of it too. But I ended up really liking 8, but since you already play with very little effort.
Yes, 11 will.
The tension doesn't affect you that much.
Now, if you do a lot of bends, there are times when the finger, with 11, obviously. With 10, it's much better. 9 is delightful. But 9 is too weak for me. Because look, Mateus, I basically play with a clean, clear sound. Right. So it's not that a clean tone doesn't sound good with 9, even with 8. I saw some of your videos. Well, it sounds amazing with 8. It depends on how hard you play. Yes, also how you tone it. But for me, I prefer a string with a little more substance. I understand. When playing clean, yes, I think with drive, I might even play with 9, right? Because then the A sound of the string itself, with drive, kind of, like I'll say it once, it kind of doesn't matter, right? No, but it disguises a lot. Because the tone is around the distortion, the drive, right? Then it becomes more like a synth, right? You don't really hear the string itself, right? Yes. Much less than when you're playing clean. It has more sustained, yeah. So 11 is what I've been using the most, right?
You mentioned your thing about sometimes playing in a different key for a mechanical reason.
Yes, I keep moving, playing up and down. Sometimes not. Many times I figure out what the key of the song is. But usually, I listen to a guitarist. There's already a guitarist, right? If I'm listening to Scofield, for example, whom I love, I listen to Scofield a lot. I'm playing with Scofield, but he doesn't leave me space to play. I have to play over him, right? So I'm unplugged with the guitar. I'm not hearing the guitar. So many times I'm not wrong, but if I'm playing the harmonic sequence, more or less.
I see.
You understand? It's kind of crazy, but it's mechanical, right?
Okay, but aside from this mechanical part, what else do you study? Repertoire. When do you have to study repertoire?
When I have to learn a new song and also compose, right? I like to compose. And always try to compose something or find a different harmonic path. Listen to an instrument, play without any kind of, sometimes without any kind of sense. Musical sense, but the musical sense ends up happening, right? Play one chord, then play another. Got stuck on that, man. Spent hours doing that and practicing technique. Then there's a moment when I like to practice technique, which really has nothing to do with music, right?
And what did you hit the keyboard monitor?
I do exercises that I invented myself, which work.
What is this exercise? Remember any?
There are several. I would need an instrument to show you.
No, but are they those basic finger exercises or not?
Yes, arpeggios. Lots of arpeggios. The synchronization of picking with the left hand. Those things that I'm still. There are moments when I feel a difficulty. I created many exercises that I invented for myself, which work, including from songs I played, where at that moment I felt a technical difficulty. I thought, well, this is a good exercise because otherwise I'm not managing to play this correctly. And there, I already invented an exercise, for example, with the whole tone scale in just one position, without doing this here right, without cheating. You have to open your hand a lot. It's difficult. Then I created an exercise that starts when it reaches the fourth string and the third, which is this movement here, right? Yes, then I go up a whole tone, and here I resume the scale again and then go down. Anyway, things like that, where I feel the hand works, right? I understand